The bird of Hermes is my name, eating my wings to make me tame. Welcome one, welcome all, every banshee and ghoul in the house. Trick or treat, it's Halloween. Now I know it's been a while since my last video, as my sound equipment has failed over 3 times on me. The video I wanted to release will have to wait, but I did just finish the Hellsing OVA, and man, that was a crazy train. The action, the story, the pure awesomeness of the original vampire. Let's call this the redemption for all the sparkling ones, right? Well, at least until I finish JoJo. Muda muda muda! Okay, that's enough. Originally, I was going to review Dusk Maiden of Amnesia or Shiki, but then I realized I never actually watched all of Hellsing Ultimate, and I wanted an excuse to marathon all 10-hour-long episodes. Oh well, time well spent. In any case, enjoy the Halloween edition of FedorArcher Reviews. If you told me that the series about Nazi vampires would turn into the best vampire anime of all time, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, it's hard for me to believe, even as I say it. Nazi vampires. That's even less believable than Nazi zombies. But I suppose the ridiculous of it makes it all the more awesome. Between Alucard's show-stealing confrontations and references to American movies, the bizarre adventures that the cast finds themselves wrapped up in is quite entertaining, to say the least. Not once in the whole series was I ever bored or unentertained. There was always something awe-inspiring going on if you paid attention, such as Pip's monologues or the amazing action sequences, with combat of the like you've never seen before. It's gory and it's gorgeous. Alucard is certainly a rarity of a character, especially as he is technically the main character, despite not actually being a protagonist. Main character, sure, but Alucard falls into the infamous anti-hero category, since he never actually does anything morally good in the entire series. Well, I guess besides saving the police girl. Other than that, Alucard isn't exactly high on the moral standards meter, but he also clearly isn't the worst guy around. That would be the Major, by the way, mechanical war pig he is. His actions are entirely whimsical, and he does what he wants to, when he wants to do it. Ah, the simple things in life. Well, that isn't entirely true. Alucard does fight for one cause. His master, Sir Integra, whose job it is to show you that you don't need superhuman capabilities to be the epitome of bad. The Hellsing organization, run by Sir Integra, is, ironically, one to hunt down vampires. Oh, the irony, as her servant is none other than the original. Alucard serves as the ultimate bargaining chip. What's that? You don't like the way I do things? Why don't you tell that to my assistant here? I'm sure he'd love to have you for dinner. Anyways, even in the final episodes where everyone else is fighting for their lives, Alucard never actually takes anybody else seriously, save for the one Judas Priest, Alexander Anderson, a happy Catholic man who seems to be the only person who could potentially take out the Count in 1 on 4 million combat. But let's look away from our main event for a second. Yes, Alucard is undeniably awesome, there's no doubt about that. But I have to be entirely candid with you guys. I started watching Hellsing Ultimate because I knew how awesome Alucard was, and admittedly, I have a thing for real vampires. Not those sparkly pixies. However, as awesome as he was, and satisfied as I was with his character, there were 2 supporting characters who completely stole the show in my eyes. Allow me to introduce you to the French mercenary, Pip Bernadotte, and the beautiful former police girl turned vampire Ceres Victoria. Now, I'm not going to take anything from Alucard here, but Pip is the single coolest bro around in the entire series. Leader of the Wild Geese, he and his crew are hired to protect Hellsing as some sort of infantry for the powerful organization. Every single member is human, for sure, but what they lack for in vampiric powers, they make up for in pure human spirit. Facing down potential annihilation, Pip and the Wild Geese not only almost wreck the vampire menace single-handedly, but also have the single best death scenes in the entire series, so much that it has inspired me to make a top 10 based off this. But I digress. But that's not all. The interactions between Ceres and Pip as characters are surprisingly enjoyable, as originally I didn't see how they could possibly end up together, at least until Ceres and Pip become one. Oh, come on, that's not what I meant and you know it. Get your head out of the gutter. Alright, all kidding aside, Pip and Ceres stole the show in my opinion, but don't let that detract from the rest of the awesome cast, as they all deserve their 5 minutes of fame. Hellsing Ultimate's animation is as beautiful as it is gorgeous, and the animation in the OVA trumps that of the original Hellsing to a great deal, and that's being modest. The difference between the exact scenes is hard to believe, but I suppose that in its day, Hellsing was pretty nice. But 360p was also nice back in the day, and now look at our fancy 4K resolution. It's like a race to see who can count your pores the fastest. Anyways, while the animation is hugely superior to the original anime, compared to other anime of the same time period, it can look a bit dated. But I guess that's what to happen when it takes nearly a whole 8 years to release 10 episodes. Look, I don't care what the problems were, or how many different studios were working on it at the time. 8 years for 10 episodes is completely unnecessary. The English dub isn't any better. Actually, while I was watching the series a week before I started the script, only episodes 1 through 8 were dubbed, so I had to switch to the Japanese for the last 2 episodes. However, 3 days ago after I finished the series, the final dubbed episodes, 9 and 10, were finally released. Talk about irony, huh? What can you do? The original soundtrack for Hellsing Ultimate is pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Each moment is enhanced by the song currently playing, as that is exactly what it was supposed to do. However, as great as it is, all the moments kind of blended together, and none of the songs really stand out in my mind. After I finished Hellsing Ultimate, I wasn't left humming any super catchy themes. Speaking of super catchy themes, Hellsing Ultimate doesn't actually have an intro in any of the episodes, not 1 through 10. Episodes are started by the Hellsing logo, and that's it, delving straight into the action. I guess the developers thought that having that extra minute and a half for an intro every episode would be a pain. In any case, though there are no opening themes to any of the episodes, there sure are ending themes that do a pretty good job at reflecting what you should be feeling after each episode rounds out to completion. All in all, Hellsing Ultimate has quite the musical score, though there are better ones, I guess. Did you know? The Bird of Hermes is my name, chant, is actually from the Ripley Scroll, a scroll about the fundamentals of alchemy and the Philosopher's Stone. Alucard is Dracula spelled backwards. Wait, you already knew that? Shut up, Killjoy. Alucard's hand cannon, the Jackal, weighs 35 pounds, or as much as a medium-sized dog. Sarah's Victoria's weapon of choice is the Harkonnen, also known as an anti-tank rifle. Alucard has about 4 million lives accumulated in total. In conclusion, Hellsing Ultimate is an overall great anime series, one that I would feel pretty safe recommending to anyone who is mature enough not to be bothered by the amount of gore, or sheer, ridiculous moments going on. And boy, are there a lot of those. Wait a second. Gore? That seems to be a reoccurring thing around here, isn't it? Oh well, what can you do? Hellsing Ultimate may just very well be the greatest vampire anime to date, and a great series in general. The original vampire himself scores 8 impaled soldiers out of 10. This is definitely an anime you should check out this Halloween. But until next time, I'm awesome, you're awesome, remember to stay awesome. Thanks for watching.